What's up, YouTube? It's Fusion. I'm coming to you today with my boy, Razmataz in the house. And we're here today to talk to you guys about a never-ending debate that's been going on in the NBA for possibly decades. Um, Now, of course, there's a lot of NBA fans out there who love to debate, ourselves included, obviously. Um, and we want to ask you guys a question. Who do you think is the greatest NBA dynasty slash franchise out there? Is it the Boston Celtics, the LA Lakers, the Chicago Bulls, San Antonio Spurs, or Detroit Pistons? Now, the majority of people out there, they're gonna say the Boston Celtics. Um, Reason being that they have 17 rings. Now, first off, despite the fact that I'm a diehard Bulls fan, um, I cannot put my Bulls as the greatest dynasty out there. Because in my personal opinion, I truly think it is the Boston Celtics. Two key reasons why. Um, the Celtics, they're the only team. I'm sorry, they're the team that have won the most consecutive titles with 8 straight, from 1959 to 1966, and of course that was led by who? Bill Russell. With the 8 straight titles, obviously, 1959 to 66.
Oh, 59.
Yeah.
I got confused in the.
No, it's all right. So from 59 to 66, they won 8 straight titles.
The only player that can say, "I have more rings than fingers," huh?
Bill Russell, Big Bill. So with that reason, along with the fact that I don't think too many people out there know this, guys, but the Boston Celtics are the franchise in the NBA that have been swept the most times in the postseason, a whopping 16 times, right? 16 times.
Yeah.
But yet they still have the most championships. Now the Lakers come second in that department with being swept in the postseason 9 times. Now, Raz, if I recall correctly, you have the Lakers as the greatest dynasty, right?
Number one, definitely.
Number one? Okay, now, again, Lakers have the second most rings with 16. Obviously, the Celtics have the most with 17. Lakers come second with 16. Bulls third at 6. Spurs fourth with 4. And the Pistons fifth with 3. Now, Raz, I need you to really elaborate for me on why, on the key reasons why you put the Lakers as the greatest dynasty out there.
Sure. Well, number one thing that comes into my mind is just the fact they made it to the finals 31 times.
The most of any team out there.
Exactly. And they came out 16 times. That automatically, to me, in my book, makes it the number one franchise. Because when you represent your conference, Western Conference, 31 times, that should like automatically put you in like, if not like the number one team. Not only that, the Lakers were like the first franchise to do a three-peat in the 50s. Yeah. 52, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then they dominated 2 decades.
Well, 3 actually, but okay. 50s, 80s, and
yeah,
early
50s,
2000s.
80s, which was 80, 82, 85, 87, 88 with the Showtime Lakers, Magic Cream, and then 2000, 2001, 2009 with Kobe and Shaq.
Kobe, Shaq, Gasol.
I mean, like 3 decades right there. Come on, that automatically makes you the number one team. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah, Boston Celtics, they won 17 out of 21.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Boston only made it to the finals 21 times, and the only decade that Boston dominated was in the 60s, right? Bill Russell with 11 championships and stuff.
Correct.
And that was not mentioning it was in the pre-modern era too.
Yeah.
So,
but again, at the same time, we can't compare it because you know there's going to be a lot of people out there. There is right now actually. There's plenty of people out there, myself included, who say that if Bill Russell was to play in the modern era of basketball, he would not have had 11 championships.
I believe that, yeah. I mean,
honestly,
no disrespect to Bill. I mean, the guy was a legend, and he's still a legend.
And to be honest, I also agree with that assessment that if Bill Russell was to play in the modern era, he would not have had 11 championships. I would probably give him about 5 to 6 at best. But again, we can't compare eras. We cannot put players in different decades
Just
or
like
eras to say that okay. I'm sorry, and to say that okay. So if this player played in the 70s and 80s, he would not have had as many titles as he had in the 50s and 60s. So we just have to take it. We have to take it how it is basically. And if anything, you can put an asterisk next to each player's name. If that floats your boat, I guess. Now, me as a diehard Bulls fan, guys, it's very difficult for me to not put the Bulls as the greatest dynasty out there because we all know what 23 and Red did, all right, in the 90s, 80s also, but his title reigns came in the 90s. Many people will argue that the Bulls are the greatest dynasty of all time for 3 key reasons. Number one reason, they're 6 out of 6 in the finals, perfect. So, so with them being perfect, that automatically lets a lot of people believe that that they're the greatest dynasty out there, which I disagree myself. Now, reason number 2 is that the Bulls are the only dynasty in the NBA, guys, that have won rings without a dominant center. Okay, all 6 titles that the Bulls won came without a dominant / all-star / Hall of Fame center. If you look at the Celtics, Lakers, Celtics, Lakers, Spurs, and Pistons, they all had a dominant center. They all had an all-star / Hall of Fame center on their teams, but the Bulls never had that. Now, the third and most unique reason is the fact that the Bulls are once again the only dynasty to have a shooting guard that led all 6 titles. So that's something that no dynasty can ever argue, that the Bulls are the only dynasty out there that have
Magic did it.
That have been led by the only. I'm sorry. That have been led by the same player at the same position.
But Magic did it in every position, though.
Well, Magic Johnson played every position. Yes. Well, that's an argument by itself for a different time, but.
And not to mention, you won like 3 MVPs, league MVPs in Jordan's prime.
Yeah, 87, 89, 90. Once it was back to back. 80, 99.
That's a pretty hard thing to do.
That's
Jordan
pretty difficult.
In his prime.
Yeah, Magic Johnson is the only player out there who can say he has won multiple league MVPs with Michael Jordan being in his prime, and which was from 87 to 93, Jordan's prime, obviously. But yeah, that's an argument by itself for a different time. But again, guys, despite those 3 reasons why most people say the Bulls are the greatest dynasty out there, me myself personally, again as a diehard fan of the Bulls, always have been. That's not enough for me to put them as the greatest dynasty out there, because I truly think that the Boston Celtics are the greatest dynasty out there.
What's your main reason why, though?
Well, 2 main reasons.
Just because they have more titles?
Not just that, but 2 key reasons. The Celtics are the franchise with the most consecutive titles, 8 straight from 1959 to 1966. That, along with the fact that they have been swept the most times out of any team / dynasty in NBA history, and at the same time, despite being swept 16 times in the postseason, they still have the most rings.
Why? Because they went to the finals less.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, we cannot say that if the Boston Celtics made the finals 31 times, just like the Lakers, that they would have had only 16 or 17 rings. Because that's anybody's guess. But again, the other reason why I do not put the Lakers as the greatest dynasty out there is because
He's a hater.
not a hater at all, but I'm just calling it how it is. They've been to the finals a whopping 31 times, the most out of any team / franchise / dynasty out there, but yet they've won 16 times, which is a 52% accuracy. Now, yeah, sure, it's above 50%. They've won more times than they've lost, but to me, honestly,
that's not good enough.
Not that it's not good enough.
Making it to the finals
but
31 times.
It is good. No doubt about it.
Just making it to the final is like a huge accomplishment.
Well,
in my book, that's what I think.
Yeah, it is. Not to mention appearing in the finals 31 times is a heck of an accomplishment. But at the same time, coming short 15 times.
Yeah, but
that's a bit.
But they won the other half though. They won 16 out of 31.
Well, yeah,
so
they did.
It's not like they won 3 out of 3 out of 31 or 5 out of 31.
Exactly. Yeah, they made it there.
And they were the
times.
first team to do a three-peat. Not only that, dominating 3 decades, 50s, 80s, 2000s. That automatically should make you a number 1 team. I mean, franchise. Despite the fact that they have one less title than the Celtics.
With 10 more appearances.
Exactly. Again, just like comparing awards, like awards and players.
Accolades.
Yeah. A player can have like 10 league MVPs, but if he's not a team player, if he didn't do anything for the team, for the team to win as a franchise, what's the point?
Exactly. But again, I mean, in my book, if you make the finals 31 times, you should win at least 20 times to give you about a 60-65% accuracy. Give or take a few. But again, that's just my personal opinion about that. But I mean, guys, we're not here to say which team is the greatest ever, which team is the worst ever. It's again, guys, Rez. I mean, it's all based on your personal opinion, correct?
Yeah.
It's all perception. It's all how you guys.
It's not a fact.
Exactly. There is no facts to it, guys. It's all opinion. It's all how you perceive a specific dynasty out there. Because at the same time, even though the majority of people will not agree to this, but I mean, there might even be some people who will say that the Detroit Pistons are the greatest dynasty out there because
I'll put Detroit Pistons over San Antonio Spurs.
Likewise.
Because their defense, their mentality, they were pretty rough in the playoffs. I mean,
yeah, some people might put the Pistons as the greatest dynasty out there because they beat Michael's Bulls 3 years in a row, 88, 89, 90. And
that's a good point.
And obviously, I'm not going to bash at that fan who thinks that way because obviously, guys, it's all based on opinion. Now, even though the majority of people out there will not agree, to that personal opinion, there's no fact to it, guys. And this obviously the Bulls, Spurs, and Pistons are the only dynasties that are perfect in the finals when they've won multiple rings. And to me, multiple means at least 3.
Yeah.
Pistons obviously 3 for 3. Spurs 4 out of 4, and the Bulls obviously 6 out of 6. All thanks to 23 in red.
Well, not just 23, but
majority of it, yeah.
Pippen.
Yeah, Pippen.
All the
Grant. All
those
guys.
Winning championships, it's about
team effort.
Yeah, it's not just one great player. I never believe in that philosophy.
Yeah, we got about 50 seconds left. We're trying to close this up done as soon as possible, guys. So again, let me know what you guys think about that topic. What team or franchise do you guys think?
The Lakers, man. Come on, purple and gold.
Do you guys think is the best dynasty out there? Is it the Celtics, the Lakers, the Bulls, the Spurs, or the Pistons? This is Frusion, guys. This is my boy, Razmataz. Post your comments down below in the box, guys. I would highly appreciate that.
And subscribe to make this the Bruce Blitz Jr., right?
The next Bruce Blitz? I wish. Yeah, guys, comment, rate, subscribe, and everything. I would highly appreciate it. And I will get to you guys soon.
Peace.
Peace.